So we just got done riding the 2018 Kawasaki Z900RS. It's Kawasaki's foray into the retro sport classic bike scene. It's one heck of a bike. Stylistically, it's off the charts. I can't believe how good of a job Kawasaki designers did with this motorcycle. You know, when you put it up against the original 73 Z900, it's crazy how uncanny the similarities are between the two bikes. They took all the classic styling attributes of that old bike and just brought it to the next level. I really like the attention to detail of this motorcycle, you know, from the engine to the seat cover to the fuel tank, the instruments, even like the tachometer and the speedometer. It looks like an authentic old analog piece from back in the day, but yet you still have some modern tech in the middle with it, with that negative backlit LCD screen. It's a really pretty motorcycle. Kawasaki is synonymous for performance and making all the cool engine sounds. And you know, some people might knock Kawasaki for not, you know, incorporating a more unique engine strategy. You know, liquid cooled inline four conventional firing order. It's been around for a while, but this Z900RS is a great take on it. I can't believe all of the wild induction sounds it makes. You know, when you have that tachometer pegged above, you know, 8,000 RPM, this thing sounds just unbelievable. It sounds so good, and the exhaust note also equally pleasing. You know, it sounds so good in stock configuration. I don't even know why you'd ever want to even throw an aftermarket muffler on. It just sounds that good out of the box from the factory. Beautiful sound to it. Of course, the engine, it's got some good beans. It really has a lot of get up and go, but not so much where it's gonna scare you. You know, the bottom end's pretty mellow, but you know, once you get a little bit of RPMs underneath you, there's gobs of torque. You know, this thing loves to wheelie in first and second gear. It's a very visceral and playful engine. No vibration either, just a real refined engine in this Z900RS. Ergonomics, again, you know, these bikes are cool because, you know, the riding position isn't so dedicated as it is with other Kawasaki sport motorcycles. And I think that's good. You know, if you're an older guy or someone who, you know, generally doesn't like to be in a real aggressive tuck position, you're gonna love this bike. You know, the handlebar is really high, really wide. Foot pegs are low enough and far forward enough where they don't put a lot of strain on your knees and your body below the waist. And that seat, you know, the seat's very supportive. Not only does it look good, but it actually is pretty comfortable. You know, my only really gripe with the seat is maybe it could be a little bit firmer. It's a little bit too squishy for my personal taste, but not a big deal at all. Suspension on this motorcycle, it delivers a real good ride, you know, when you're cruising around at a moderate pace on the street. But, you know, when you kind of start getting after it in the corners, you know, it does get a little bouncy and a little wiggly wobbly. You know, it's kind of crazy because when Kawasaki came out with that 73 Z900, that bike was just ahead of its time. You know, it was fast, it handled great, it was light, you know, it did everything good. And I think the suspension could have been a little bit more up-spec and a little bit more performance-oriented for this. I think Kawasaki, if they made that change, I think this bike would just be an out-of-the-park home run. Overall, if you're looking for a fun, tasteful classic bike, something that looks cool, runs and drives awesome, something that you can put in your garage and stare at and, you know, crack open a beer and just look at that bike and just be like, God, I love the way this thing looks, you're gonna be happy with this Z900RS. It's a really beautiful bike and it runs and drives as good as it looks.
model model in the lineup is the Kawasaki Z900. It represents a new high in the state-of-the-art of making performance motorcycles. The Kawasaki Z900 is Kawasaki's expression of confidence in the future of high-performance motorcycles. It incorporates anti-pollution and low-noise level systems and advanced engineering thinking to make it truly the superbike of the times.